بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of Ask Eman, broadcasted live from the London studio of Eman Channel on Sky 757. We're also streaming it live on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, via our website Eman Channel TV. Humble reminder, please do like, share, comment and subscribe to all our platforms, including our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. 0203 515 0757, our studio number, 07916 841 our WhatsApp number. Both the numbers, inshallah, will soon be displayed on your screen at the bottom. And feel free for international viewers to call in directly into the studio using the WhatsApp number. And of course, you can send us text on WhatsApp. You can leave your comments in the comment section below, either on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. I'm your host, Qamarul Islam. Joining us today, none other than our regular weekend guest, internationally renowned scholar, Fadilatul Shaykh Dr. Muhammad Salah. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Qamarul Islam, thank you for hosting me. May Allah bless you and all the viewers.
Ameen, Jazakumullah khair. Now, before we move on to our question, let's start our discussion. Recently, we have seen that one of the videos of the Kaaba has gone viral, and we have been constantly debating whether the image is real or not. This is just an example. Anything that comes up with regards to Islam or anything along those lines, we find ourselves engaging in debates that perhaps many would say, is it not a waste of our time? Surely our time can be used in a more constructive manner. And does it mean that whenever we see something along those lines, we have to always jump in to have our say, give our comments, or sometimes it's better to take a back seat and relax and perhaps contribute ourselves to somewhere where our time can be used efficiently? Shaykh.
Alhamdulillah. والصلاة والسلام على نبيه ومصطفى سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه ومن والاه. As for Muslims, the main source of guidance, the Quran, and the other form of revelation, which is the guidance of Prophet Muhammad or his Sunnah, may the greatest peace and salutations be upon him. We find in Surah Al-Hujurat, the Almighty Allah says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا أن تصيبوا قوما بجهالة فتصبحوا على ما فعلتم نادمين. So the Almighty Allah commands us that whenever we receive any news, before you circulate it, before you like it and share it, before you propagate it, before you base or you build a conclusion upon it, verify it. So this is what is required from every believer. On the social media, it has become a virtual world, which is basically, if you were to spread the word in the past one-on-one, it will take you forever to inform 1,000 people. But now you can inform hundreds of thousands of people with a single click. So it is more worthy to verify any news before you share it with others. So I think on my page today, there is actually a comment on that. This is not an image of the Kaaba. There is normal magnitude of people around the Kaaba, hundreds of thousands. So there was no need to fake it. There was no need to make up an image or to change the graphic designing of the Kaaba. Number one, the rooftop is marble. Number two, it's not black. Number two, there is al-Hatim. There is al-Hijr. It's not there. Number four, there are some areas where it is not all circular because there is al-Mas'a, which takes from the major circle. It cuts it off. The question is, why do we have to fake it? The genuine image is already most amazing. Some people, they even play with the pictures of Muslims who have died. So they play with their images to make them smile and say, look at the smile of the shaheed at the time of death. Isn't this haram? It is definitely haram. Do you think lying is to say, well, today I ate caviar and I enjoyed lobster while you didn't eat at all? That's a lie. Likewise, there is a lie which is even worse. When you share, when you publish on the social media an event or an image which is forged, which is not true, knowingly, or even without verifying its authenticity, where thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people will get to see it, and then they will like it and share it. Our world today has become all about the trend. Qamarul Islam. Everyone wants to be seen, everyone wants to be liked, everyone wants to be shared, everyone wants to be recognized, everyone wants to be a blogger, a YouTuber, a famous person. It is okay, but through what? Through genuine information, something valuable. Guess what? Some people call me, said, is it okay to open a YouTube channel where I share with people my cooking skills? It is okay. Halal, no problem. It's useful and beneficial. GP doctor, can I open a YouTube channel to educate people about what is healthy and what is not? Yes, it is halal. And furthermore, you may be rewarded. And if you generate a revenue and subscription on that, it is definitely halal. But we see some Muslim youth, they go with the flow and they get drifted away with the current, and things change tremendously to the haram, to the major sins, to publishing and sharing nonsense just to generate revenue, to have more likes and shares, to be famous and popular, and so on. Basically, this is what the Prophet ﷺ have warned against. So be careful. I would rather be an unknown person than sharing fake pictures, images, forged news with people in order to be famous. The Almighty Allah said in Surah Al-Isra, إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ كُلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. Each of these body senses will be questioned on the day of judgment individually. When you say, oh, did you know what happened? I heard this person was caught with this woman. So Allah, the Almighty, will ask you about it. He said, I heard it. So Allah will ask your hearing. Did you hear this? And when did you hear it? Did you verify it? Likewise with the sight, likewise with the intelligence. Be careful. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all and guide us to what is best.
Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. Jazakallahu khairan for that. And it is true that we live in a world where we all like to be chased, we all like to be famous. But one thing as Muslim we have to understand, we take our principles not from those that are far from Quran and Sunnah, but rather we take our principle from the Quran and Sunnah, and how the Salaf, Tabi'een, Tabi'een, the Sahaba, and all the rightly guided individuals have led their life according to the Quran and Sunnah. And if in doubt, this is where this show come into play. Ask Eman is your program where you can ask questions and find answers according to the Quran and Sunnah. Now, moving on swiftly to our first generated question asked by Sister Yasmin. Can I dye my hair any color, Shaykh?
Yes, it is permissible to dye your hair any color. Only if you have gray hair, you're not allowed to dye it in black. And also, I hope when you choose to dye your hair in a particular color, you're not imitating any of these non-Muslim celebrities or dancers or singers. So there is a difference between my husband loves blonde hair and I think it suits me more. It's okay, Bismillah, dye your hair blonde hair, no problem. Make sure you're not using chemicals which are harmful though. And because you saw this dancer or this girl whom people say, I'm a big fan of this singer or whatever, so you want to be like her. Because the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in the hadith, the person will be gathered on the day of judgment with those whom he loves, with those whom he imitates and likes to be like them.
Jazakallahu khairan for that. Now, just to clarify something, especially this season in summer, Shaykh, as you might be aware, school holidays, summer holidays, a lot of weddings, walimas and receptions take place during this time. Now, one of the other aspect is, can a potential groom or a potential bride use the color, especially if the intention is to hide the real color of the hair?
That's a very valid question. When I propose to a girl, well, I want to make sure that she sees me and she knows that I'm bald. I'm not wearing a wig. And when a girl is met with a guy who's proposing to her, she should be meeting with her, as the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, tafilat, because there are many divorces took place on the wedding night, when the bride had to wash her face, and the groom was shocked. This is not the one whom I proposed to. This is not the one whom I paid the dowry. That's another person that looks like my brother. So honesty is required in this condition. You appear before him as genuine, original. You don't dye your hair. Makeup artists now can make a male look like a pretty female. When you meet for a ru'yatu shar'iyya, when a person is proposing to you, you're not supposed to do this because this is cheating. And the Prophet ﷺ said, Man ghasha falaysa minni. And if a man married a woman because he assumed that, oh my God, I love the color of her eyes, and and the hair, man, subhanallah, and by the end, this is not even her hair, that's a wig, and these are all color contacts, and the eyelashes are all artificial, and she's
Jazakallah.
been injected with botox. This is not permissible.
Jazakallah khairan for that. So that is a very important information there, and Sheikh has clearly given evidence. And let's take heed from it. Let's take a note from it. And of course, if in doubt, you can ask us question, inshallah, and Sheikh will be more than happy to answer. I can already see Sister Maryam has asked, why can't you dye your hair in black? Please, I want to know. Sheikh will inshallah answer that question. But after a short break, you're watching Ask Eman live on Eman Channel on Sky 757. Contact details are displayed at the bottom. We'll be right back in a few moments. You're watching Ask Eman. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. You're watching Ask Eman with the Shaykh Dr. Muhammad Salah. 0203 515 0757 our studio number, 07916 our WhatsApp number. Both the numbers are displayed at the bottom of your screen. Live on Facebook page, YouTube channel, via our website Eman Channel TV. Humble reminder, please do like, share, comment and subscribe to all our platforms. Now in the first segment, we had a question, and one of the questions asked about dyeing the hair. Now, follow-up question, Sister Maryam is asking on YouTube, why are we not allowed to dye our hair in black? What's the reason, Sheikh?
Maryam didn't ask this question, I would have been surprised because we're supposed to know why. Like, you say blonde is okay, yeah. This color is okay, yeah. So what is wrong with black? You said except black. Because the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, غيروا هذا الشيب. When somebody grows gray hair, you should change the color. Don't leave it gray. And he said, but avoid the black, because the black is deceiving. In what sense? It will make you look like you're young, like you're 20. So that's why he said, avoid the black. The black will be permissible to dye your hair color with during wars, because this is something to frighten the enemies. You're strong, you're young, you're not one of those elders or the uncles. Otherwise, and that was in the past whenever they used to fight and combat sword to sword. But under regular circumstances, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you should change the gray color with any color and avoid the black.
Thank you very much for that, and hope that is clear to our viewer and, of course, Sister Maryam. Now, Sheikh, the main important factor that I can understand from what you have said is just because it can fall under deception. Is that correct? Sorry, we missed it there, Sheikh, for a moment.
You're absolutely correct.
Okay, Jazakallah khair for that. Apology for that technical delay. Now, let's move on to our next generated question. And this is a common question asked again by parents, especially in the time of summer. Brother Abu Bakr is asking, can my children combine Maghrib and Isha Salah together in the summer? For international viewers, just to clarify, because Sheikh, the Maghrib Salah is around, say, 9:25 or 9:30 p.m. in the UK. And of course, the Isha Salah begins around 10:45 p.m., especially if the next day is a weekday. Children have to go to school, they have to go early to bed and then wake up early in the morning. And that's why a common question asked by parents, is that possible, Sheikh?
Well, in the Sound Hadith, which is collected by Imam Muslim, He narrated that the Prophet ﷺ once combined the prayers, and there was no rain, there was no mud, there was no fear, and he said, لِيَرْفَعَ الْحَرَجَ عَنْ أُمَّتِهِ, so that the excuses are not only heavy rain, are not only during the state of fear, there could be many other reasons, such as sickness. My mother is confined to bed. It's a bit difficult for her to make wudu for every prayer, so I asked her, Mother, pray Dhuhr and Asr together at the time of either one with the same wudu. And then whenever it is Maghrib and Isha, you can either delay Maghrib or pray Isha along with Maghrib. And this way, you need to make wudu only 3 times a day, for Fajr and for praying Dhuhr and Asr and for praying Maghrib and Isha together. Is this valid? Valid. In some of the countries where the night prayer is very late, the Isha prayer sometimes is midnight, and Fajr is at 2, and I have school to go to early morning. Maybe I can afford it as a family father, but my kids who go to school, I cannot wake them up in the middle of the night to pray Isha so that they can go back for a couple hours. So I will wake them up again for Fajr. Then the Sharia delivers ease. So in this case, yes, they can combine Isha along with Maghrib and go to sleep. And don't wake them up until it is already Fajr or before sunrise so that they can pray Fajr at home if they pray at home, due to the fact that not everyone lives close to the masjid. This is for the particular circumstances that you've mentioned. This is not like a flat rate. You do it all year round. You said during summer, because the night time is very short, Maghrib is already close to 10, and Isha is 10:45 or 11. So it will be extremely difficult for those who go to work early morning and for our kids who go to school during the scholastic year to do all of that, then to sleep for a couple hours to wake up again. Go ahead and combine Isha along with Maghrib. Combining here doesn't mean you shorten the prayer. You only combine without shortening the prayers, since shortening the 4 rak'ah prayers to only 2 is only if you are on a journey.
Thank you very much for that. Now let's move on to our next YouTube question. And before that, Sister Mariam has said, Jazakumullah khairan, barakallah fiki, for that instant comment. Now let's move on. Next question, and it's an important question, especially after we have performed the Hajj season is over, and the person is asking, is our tawaf valid if we are busy taking videos and pictures? An important question, Shaykh.
Well, first of all, I'm impressed because normally the viewers say, is my tawaf accepted? And the answer, my typical answer is, who knows? I don't know whether my tawaf has been accepted or not. That's between you and Allah. But valid, it is valid because you've done tawaf 7 rounds around the Kaaba while you're having wudu. How much reward would you get? How much qabul will you achieve? It depends on how much khushu' you have. Some people occupy the tawaf with dhikr, dua, istighfar, supplication, and invocation. Will they be treated like somebody who's, honey, I'm in the 2nd round. You look, everyone, look. And they show people their wives and their women without hijab. They don't pay attention to that. And they get occupied and they get sucked in a conversation which takes plenty of time. At-tawaf, as the Prophet ﷺ said, is like the prayer, except that in tawaf you can talk, while in prayer you can't. So you recite your adhkar, you talk to somebody, it's okay, but not to the extent that tawaf nowadays, lot of distraction. Everyone is almost raising their phones on a video conference. Their wives on the phone, everyone is seeing them, or their daughters or their women. This is not permissible. This is not permissible. When somebody says, I prayed 4 rak'ahs Asr, is it valid? Yes, it is valid. Is it maqbool? It depends how much khushu' you have in your prayer. Now, to be honest with you, I was preoccupied. I was thinking about this, I was thinking about that. I don't even remember what I recited after Fatiha. That is something you have to pay for between you and Allah. So if you waste your tawaf on the phone and video camera and and so on, you get ready that you will not be treated like somebody who is reciting ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. You see people around you crying and saying, oh Allah, forgive me my sins. What about you, man? No, I'm taking pictures. I'm busy. May Allah guide us to what is best.
Thank you very much. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Now moving on swiftly to our callers. Let's see who's on the line. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Hussein.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah, Akhi, and assalamu alaikum to the Shaykh.
Shaykh is listening. Inshallah, he will respond accordingly. My dear brother, a regular viewer, always ask questions. What's your question today?
Sheikh, mashallah, answered the question about, I think a sister was saying why is it necessary to dye their hair,
Okay.
and because they accept black.
Yeah.
My question for the Shaykh is, I read hadiths saying that Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, if you leave your hair grey, you will inshallah get hasanah for that. So also I wanted to ask, is it also permissible to leave the hair grey?
Okay. Khalas. Any other question?
That's all. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah fiqh. MashaAllah. 3 questions on hair, or dyeing our hair today. MashaAllah. Good. Sheikh, over to you.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't quite hear his question. The voice
Okay,
was not really...
basically, Brother Hussein has said, he came across a hadith, I'm sure you will confirm that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that if you leave the hair grey, you will receive hasanath. Is that correct?
Oh, no, he's not talking about changing the color. He's talking about whoever grows gray hair in Islam will receive a hasana for each hair, and it is like nur for him. And this has nothing to do with dyeing the hair. Changing the hair color for the gray hair is sunnah. But not pulling out the gray hair when you grow some gray hair is sunnah as well. Leave it, don't pull it out. And it talks about living a longer time while you are a believer, growing your gray hair, while you offer your prayers, while you're doing good acts of worship, while you're testifying to the oneness of Allah. So it talks about living a long life while doing good deeds. Has nothing to do with the hadith you're talking about. Man shaba shaybatan fil Islam has nothing to do with the recommendation of changing the hair color when it gets gray.
Jazakallahu khairan for that perfect timing. Now it's once again time for another break, but before that, 0203 515 0757, our studio number, 07916841483, our WhatsApp number, displayed at the bottom of the screen. Live, of course, on Facebook page, on YouTube channel. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. Not only we're streaming on Sky 757, but also via our website, Eman Channel TV. And feel free to ask any questions you may have. And I can see a lot of questions on YouTube and WhatsApp and other platforms. Inshallah, we'll try our level best to accommodate as much as possible in the next 2 segments we have, inshallah. And please keep those questions coming through. We'll be back in a few moments. You're watching Ask Eman. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. You're watching Ask Eman live on Eman Channel Sky 757 with Shaykh Dr. Muhammad Salah. Now let's move on swiftly to our next question, and we shall be taking it from WhatsApp. An important question: can we donate blood as charity and gain reward, saving lives? It's talking about, or the individual is talking about the international charity organization here in the UK or Europe that helps people by taking people. People would like to donate, and people donate their blood, I'm sure, for medical reasons and other. What's your take on that, Shaykh?
Well, there is a beautiful verse in chapter number 5, Surah Al-Ma'idah, in which Allah Almighty says, من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل. And then within the verse, Allah Almighty says, وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. Allah has ordained not only on us, as early as during the time of the Israelites, that whoever causes the death or the killing of a single human being, it is as bad as killing all human beings. And whoever saves the life of a single human being, it is worded as if he or she have saved the lives of all the human beings collectively. This is something wonderful. The human life in Islam in general, whether the human life or the animal's life, is really appreciated, is really honored and respected. So, if you know that somebody is about to die and is in need for blood transfusion, and his blood type is only present with you or currently matches your blood type, what do I do? Well, the doctor said you're healthy, you're, mashallah, physically fit, and you can donate that much blood. Bismillah. Will I be rewarded for that? Better than giving money in a charity because you're saving lives. Sheikh, what if this person is not even Muslim, even if he's not Muslim? You will be rewarded for that.
Thank you very much for that. Now, let's move on swiftly to our next YouTube question. And Sister Firoza Baksh is asking a bit of a question. Sheikh, are we allowed to wear bright colors of abaya in Salah at home only in front of my husband? Shukran.
100% permissible, sister. No problem. You can wear white, you can wear red, you can wear green, you can wear brown, any color you choose.
Thank you very much for that. Now, let's move on to our callers next on the line. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Thank you very much, sister, for calling in. Your question, please.
Okay, my question is to the Shaykh that when you perform Umrah and you're making the tawaf, why is it permissible to look at the Kaaba, and what's the reason we shouldn't be looking and doing the tawaf?
Okay, my question, let me understand it. So you're saying, why are we not allowed to look at the Kaaba while performing Umrah? I mean, tawaf.
Yes,
okay.
for tawaf.
Okay, fine. Just if I may ask you, who mentioned it to you that you're not allowed to look at the Kaaba while performing tawaf?
Quite a few scholars, they say you shouldn't look at it at all.
Okay, did you say
of course, when you're
scholars?
making a tawaf, do, of course, look at it at times, when you're making the tawaf.
Okay, so let me understand, just to be clear. So you're saying you've heard from some scholars that you're not allowed to look at the Kaaba while performing tawaf. Is your question correct?
Exactly, yes,
okay,
thank
fine.
you.
All right, let's find out from the Shaykh. Shaykh, over to you.
MashaAllah, you're a big sheikh now, because basically you've asked her the question which I was going to begin my answer, asking the same question. And by the way, you and I, before Hajj, we received a similar question. So I asked the caller, where did you get this information from? Who told you that while performing tawaf, you're not allowed to look at the Kaaba? As a matter of fact, Qamarul Islam, we have two contradicting fake news. One which says, as long as you're performing tawaf, you should keep staring at the Kaaba like this. And another, and that's why you see people, they're not even looking in front of them. They step on others, and others step on them. They're slowing the traffic. Why? Because you keep doing like this, looking at the Kaaba, assuming that I cannot move my ass from the Kaaba so long as I'm performing tawaf. And I heard while performing tawaf recently, somebody was telling another that keep looking at the Kaaba, keep looking at the Kaaba. That will invalidate your tawaf if you look somewhere else. That's invalid. And the opposite is also invalid, that if you're performing tawaf, you can never look at the Kaaba. This is all fake. And where do we learn our deen from? Nowadays is a lot easier than ever, than before and before. Any question in the deen you want to ask, it doesn't cost you a penny. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to travel to meet the Shaykh. The Shaykh comes right to your house, to your own phone, social media, everyday life. You can ask the reliable scholars. So instead of saying, I want to know why it is not permissible to look at the Kaaba, I should ask, is it true what I hear from people that it is not permissible to look at the Kaaba while performing tawaf? I will tell you, sister, no, this is an absolute lie. And whoever told you that is lying to you. Oh no, he doesn't mean to lie. Then he is ignorant and he should not give fatwa. or suggest anything which is not authentic. So you look at the Kaaba, you look at the clock tower, you look up, you look down, you say tasbih, you say tahmid, you make dua, you recite Quran, you be quiet, all of that is permissible.
Thank you very much for that response. And thank you, my dear sister, for asking the question. And any one of you that are watching the program now, feel free. You can pick up the phone and dial 203-515-0757. Now, let's move on to our next question. Sister Saida Khadija is asking on YouTube. I live in a foreign country. If you are in a foreign country where you're living alone and you see a man who wants to marry you and wants to meet you, but you don't have any family member to go with, what should you do, Shaykh?
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah, you're a Muslim. Literally nowadays, everywhere on earth, there are Islamic centers and masajid. Involve the Imam. If you don't have a guardian, the Imam will be your guardian. If you do have a guardian at home and you want a place and you want somebody to represent your guardian so that to verify the authenticity of this person, the Imam, Islamic Center, they have an executive committee, they have elders, they have a lot of uncles who can do that on your behalf. So what about if we go to Red Lobster, if we go to have dinner outside, or after we finish, we'll go to one of these cafes? That's not permissible. He's not your husband yet. You want to begin a right beginning? Then family, friends. You have one sister who's married and she have a family. So come over, you visit me at my friend's house or family's house or in the Islamic Center in the presence of people. What happens in the presence of people? I'm not going to begin my conversation by saying, wow, you're the most beautiful woman I've seen in my life. Look at your eyes. Look, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to be serious. Look, I'm 38. I'm not going to lie. I've been married before. Look, I'm divorced. I have a couple kids. Because I know that there are people who are going to investigate. I'm going to provide them with my phone number, my social media accounts, my address, my workplace, and they're going to make every possible effort to verify the authenticity of my informations. Versus when I meet a girl outside, it's like a date. We're going on a date. And you can say whatever and you can lie whatever. May Allah protect us against all of that.
Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. And just a point to be added, especially sometimes we've seen our sisters can fall a victim of crime. So let's be very careful who the individuals are that are approaching. And number two, I'm not saying everyone is bad out there with bad intention. And secondly, also we need to know the legal aspect and the legal route, because if you're a British citizen, as British citizen, there are certain laws in place. And how are you going to accommodate? How are you going to fulfill? Or will you be eligible to bring your spouse over to UK? So those are things it's best to ask a lawyer. Next, inshallah, after the short break, we'll see you. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the last segment of Ask Iman live on Eman Channel Sky 757 with Shaykh Dr. Muhammad Salah. 0203-515-0757 our studio number, 07916841483 our WhatsApp number. Both the numbers are displayed at the bottom of the screen. And please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to our Facebook page and YouTube channel, where we're streaming it live at this moment in time, and via our website emanchannel.tv. Now, Shaykh, let's move on to our next, I would rather say follow-up question from the previous segment. We had a question regarding blood donation, and I believe the questioner is trying to find out whether you can earn money through blood donation, even though you're giving it for charity purposes, but sometime perhaps if there is any financial benefit, is that possible to earn money?
No, it is not possible. And the reason behind that, because you don't own your blood. You don't own yourself. You cannot sell out any of your body parts because it is not your property. It's an amana that Allah left with you. It is only permissible to help people to save their lives via contribution or donation, not through selling out.
Thank you.
Same applies to organ donations.
Thank you very much for that. So just briefly, if you can clarify, because here in the West, where we always or constantly we hear a particular narration that this is my body, I have the right to do whatever I want. As Muslim, how should we view that?
Well, when I say I am a Muslim, it's irrelevant to where you live. Once I took a walk about 10 kilometers. It was by the bank of a river. I don't remember the river in London. I was going to give a talk somewhere, and they said it's about 10 kilometers away from here. I said, let's walk. So I passed by a lot of things, and I've seen some people who have completely changed their bodies. You cannot recognize their original image of the piercing, the tattoos, and there was somewhere around the river where I've seen hundreds of people getting together and doing this. Well, you may do whatever if you're not Muslim. In Islam, your body, we understand it belongs to our Creator. That's why when the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam spoke about tattooing, it's not permissible. It's my body, I'm free to do. No, you're not free to do whatever you want to do. Wearing a wig, it's my head. No, it's not permissible. Cosmetic surgeries, somebody wants to enlarge the breast, to shrink, the whatever, to change their body features, it's not permissible unless if it is to restore the original image after surgery, an operation, or an accident. But somebody is not happy with the way Allah created them, so they want to change it. That is not permissible. You are a Muslim. The word Muslim means I submit my will to the will of the Almighty Allah. He's the one who decides. So I cannot sell one of my kidneys? No, you cannot. It is forbidden. Can I donate it to save somebody's life? Well, if the doctor said the recipient is the same type of yours, and most likely he will survive, he will live, his body will not reject your kidney, and you can survive with one kidney, and you will be doing okay, then it is okay, without selling, without receiving any compensation, because your body is not for sale.
Thank you very much for that and clarification. And of course, just for our viewers, Shaykh has given an example. Of course, this is not a medical show. Please feel free to seek your medical guidance and help from the local GP and take appropriate advice. And of course, Shaykh here is giving advice according to the Quran and Sunnah. Just to clarify, especially we have, alhamdulillah, non-Muslim viewers watching the program, that Shaykh has given the response to Muslims according to the Quran and Sunnah. Of course, we live in a country where we have the freedom, but for Muslims, as Shaykh has mentioned, we follow Quran and Sunnah, and Islam is our deen, and that's why according to the authentic sources, Shaykh has given those clarification. And if you have any questions or confusions, or if you would like to clarify further doubts you may have, feel free. This is the very time where Shaykh will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have with regards to the matters that has been discussed, or even anything in general. 203-515-0757, our studio number. Now, Shaykh, let's move on to our next question. Shahlu Pahwa is asking a question. What is the solution of strange waswasa?
Treatment. If you're talking about OCD, then the solution is not here in this program. The solution is via visiting a psychiatrist, getting diagnosed, receiving the proper medication, taking your medicine on time, you'll feel much better. If you're talking about occasionally some bad thoughts cross your mind about the deen, Allah, or it makes you forget your prayers, and it is not diagnosed as OCD, then the Almighty Allah said in the Quran, in ayah number 200, chapter number 7, Surah Al-A'raf, وَإِمَّا يَنزَغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ نَزْغٌ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ إِنَّهُ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ. And a similar verse in Surah Fussilat, in which the Almighty Allah said, وَإِمَّا يَنزَغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ نَزْغٌ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ إِنَّهُ هُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. Which means, whenever bad thoughts, weird thoughts cross your mind, you know that they are whispers of Satan or from Satan, then simply seek refuge in Allah by saying, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. I seek refuge with Allah against the outcast Satan. The Almighty Allah said, إنه هو السميع العليم in Fussilat, إنه سميع عليم in Surah Al-A'raf, which confirmed that indeed Allah is the all-hearer, all-known. So when you seek His help against whispers of Satan, He drives Satan away from you and protects you against this immediate evil whisper. So we differentiate between the waswasa from Satan and the OCD.
Thank you very much for that. We have got 2.5 minutes. Let's squeeze in some more questions. Brother Shafiq is asking, a good question. How can I become a mukhlis servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
Well, in Surah Al-Bayyinah, the Almighty Allah said, وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ حُنَفَاءَ وَيُقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَيُؤْتُوا الزَّكَاةَ وَذَلِكَ دِينُ الْقَيِّمَةِ. We were only commanded to worship Allah alone with sincere devotion. In the prayers, in the fasting, in giving in charity, in studying, in taking a job, in helping people. Because the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam has guided us that based on the level of your sincerity, there will be qabul. And the level of qabul is in proportion with the amount of sincerity. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam quoted the Almighty Allah as saying, "Man ashraka bi shay'an taraktuhu wa shirka." Ana aghna ash-shuraka. Allah the Almighty said, I'm the richest of all. I'm the most self-sufficient. I don't need your worship. If any person were to do anything, such an act of worship, anticipating the reward supposedly from me, meanwhile he wants to be praised by others, he wants to impress others, he wants to be admired, the Almighty Allah said, I'm not taking any of this worship. I leave it all for him or her, because he is the most self-sufficient. When you keep that in mind, that no one can reward you as much as Allah. No one will appreciate your good deeds as much as Allah. So why do you try to impress anyone else? No one will even reward you. And in the long hadith, I don't know if we have time to discuss it, or shall we postpone it to the next time? The Prophet ﷺ said the first people to be sent to hellfire, one of them, somebody who died on the battlefield and people called him martyr or shaheed. Somebody who appeared to people as a scholar, people used to enjoy listening to him, his recitation, his speech, and admired him much. And a very charitable person according to what appears to be. Maybe next time, inshallah, we can shed some light on this hadith.
Inshallah, Jazakallah khair for that. Apology for that, time is running out, but definitely, inshallah, next week we'll be talking about this subject and we'll take it from there. Sincere thanks to our viewers that have watched the program, called, sent us questions through different various platforms, and of course, my dear Shaykh, for giving us your valuable time. Until next time, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.